Hello, fellow leggers!
And talk about hot casting, because it's only Iwan Rheon in a brand new production of the play Foxfinder here at the Ambassadors Theatre.
In the heart of London's West End.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs.
Whether it's break a leg or leg it. So if you've crawled out of a foxhole and joined us for the first time, then it's lovely to meet you.
Yes, make sure you subscribe below and leave any comments about this show, other shows you're seeing, anything theatre. I'm sure you are as passionate as we are.
Yeah, maybe you followed our scent all the way back to our YouTube channel. It's great to see you again.
So, Foxfinder, what are you going to be telling us about this?
Well, it's a brand new play by Dawn King. Now this is its, well, I say no, it's not. It's not a brand new play because
it's been performed
I've got
already.
It's the West End premiere of the play by Dawn King because it actually is a revival. Okay. The play was first produced back in 2011 at the Finborough Theatre and was named by The Independent as one of the top 5 plays of that year.
Okay.
So good so far, right?
Right, if they think it's good.
No, well, the play's a dramatic thriller set in a dystopian England where food is scarce and fear grips the land.
Post-Brexit then.
Topical. Government sends in William Bloor to investigate a failing harvest, but his hunt uncovers more questions than answers.
Interesting, sounds a bit futuristic sci-fi-y.
Its biggest pull might possibly be the stage return of Iwan Rheon, Olivier Award winner for his portrayal as Morich Stiefel in Spring Awakening the musical back in 2009.
That's when he was just a little youngling, new to the whole business.
We both saw that and he was great.
He's done loads since.
Yeah, best known now for his TV roles in Misfits and also
Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones, Mr. Bad Guy Nasty.
Can't get bigger than that really. Also in the cast are Heida from BBC's Poldark.
Okay.
Paul Nicholls, who's a former EastEnders, has gone on to do other TV, and Bryony from Call the Midwife. So quite a TV-centric cast really.
Okay, it's still in previews at the moment.
It is. As far as we know, it's 2 acts of both around an hour each, so we'll be catching up with you for our 30-second interval breakdown in the middle.
And stick around to the end to find out how many legs. We've come to the interval, which means it is time for the Break-a-Leggers
30-second interval breakdown. Oh, what do you think so far?
It's a slow burner. It's quite a dark world that we are being introduced to. Some nice subtle performances, lovely soundscape, but I almost think it's too soon to judge. How about you?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what turns it taken. It sort of set up a few intriguing things, but until the end I'm not sure what to think. It is very slow, but the performances seem fairly committed. We'll see what happens next. So did we find a fox or find fault with this production? I'm sure you are wondering. Let's start with you.
You're starting with me. First impressions, I'm a bit disappointed. I was expecting something more. They've got a real strong cast. And I think the material they were given to work with wasn't gripping. There's no grip here, there's no drama. First impressions, that's my first impressions before I go any further. How about you? First impressions? First
impressions, like immediately coming out of it, I was bored. I was tired.
Tell us what you really think.
I just wasn't gripped, compelled or enthralled, to be honest with you. Since coming out, I'm sort of racking my brains to try and find some substance in there somewhere.
Finding the fox of the play somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like they spend the whole time hunting for a fox. I'm trying to spend my whole time looking for a point. But I think there are interesting conversations to be had if you can find your own meaning in this, but you'd have to dig deeper than a foxhole for that.
Yeah, there are some interesting echoes and conversations to be had around the idea of kind of beliefs and what you're told from a young age in terms of religion, I guess, and how you should treat people.
Cognitive bias and a bit of sort of
absolutely that
indoctrination.
What we believe as human beings sometimes, even without the slightest shred of evidence, just because of what we've been
becomes
told.
your personal truth.
Yeah, and then our life experiences then shape and enforce those beliefs one way or the other. Now, that is quite strong within the piece. I get that's loud and clear. I could definitely pick that up. Beyond that, I don't think there is much more. What else is there? Betrayal in there, of friendship, what people do to survive. But
There's
it's
sort
very
of
loose.
desperation when it comes to your social standing and the relationships
Protecting
you
yourself.
have with one another. That's something that is touched upon. But I think all of these things are literally just touched upon
I'm
very
clawing
loosely.
here.
Yeah,
I'm
you are.
clawing
It's a
at
real
finding
reach
something.
to try to pull out the purpose, and
Yeah.
that's a real shame. Let's move on to the cast, though.
Okay.
You say a thoroughly strong cast. I would say 2 out of 3 ain't bad, sort of thing. I like some cast members more than others. I thought Bryony Hannah as Sarah Box, the sort of neighbour, had a lot of emotion. Very
she was
compelling scenes with her and the desperation to protect her family and the things that were important to her, no matter what the cost. And a believability about that, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I like Paul Nicholls.
Paul Nicholls in the
Nicholls.
role of Samuel Covey.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he's a very surprising. I mean, I've only ever seen him on TV, and it's a different skill. You know, when you get takes and you're a screen actor and you get opportunities than on stage, and he's just gone to show that he is a good actor. You know, he has chops, and I like that. I love chops. Heida, no, let's talk about Heida Reid, Judith Covey. Have you got anything good to say about her?
Yeah, I liked her. I thought she was good in the role, personally.
Let's move on. Iwan Rheon in the role of William Bloor. I know you really like him from his TV work.
And let's be honest, it's going to be his name, his face on the poster that is going to pull in the audience.
It's going to have to be, because it's not the script.
It's not the script. I can already see, like, the stage door is just down from us, and there's a huge queue around stage door because people, you know, they're big Game of Thrones fans, and he is big in that world.
I mean, it's the biggest cult show going, and he is a large part of that world. So of course it's going to get bums on seats. How are people going to? Do you think Game of Thrones fans are going to come away going, "Oh my God, that was so brilliant, and I'm so glad he was in it"? And
definitely not, because if you follow Game of Thrones, you know it's twisting plots, it's great scenes, strong characters, and that isn't this piece. I think ultimately, if you're going to come to the theatre and you're thinking, "Oh, don't come to the theatre often. I know that face. Let's go and see him in a show," you're going to come away thinking, "God, this theatre is rubbish."
You're going to be put off. Like it's going to be like, you know, when you were dragged at school to see a really rubbish production of a Shakespeare play, and then you thought the theatre wasn't for you again. I worry that this might do that to you. So please don't judge it all. It's not all that bad, I promise. As we wouldn't do what we do.
But hey, this is just our opinion.
It's just our opinion. Let's move on to production a little bit. Let's just touch on set.
We were at the back of the stalls. It's a small, intimate theatre, but the balcony comes very far down, so we're quite restricted on what we could see going up.
But nothing really happened above
Nothing happened.
head height.
Leaving the theatre at the end, it looks very picturesque. You know, a nice set, very simple.
There's a nice picture in the programme of the things that we missed, so I don't feel like I'm too hard done by. It wouldn't have distracted me from the writing, which is what I really needed. And
it seems to be a theme of what you're saying here. Didn't like the writing there.
But I know you liked the composer sound designer's work, Simon Slater.
Some really nice sound design.
Great name, Simon.
My only issue was it was only in the scene transitions. I think maybe some underscorings through some of those tenser moments
would help.
Maybe would have helped, but otherwise it was just scene, music during the transition, scene, music during the transition.
Paul Anderson's lighting was serviceable.
Yeah, nice. Some nice. He did what he could. Nice.
Great credits though.
Lovely silhouettes. They have a
done.
lovely big back screen which was illuminated, and you had some lovely silhouettes coming through.
So let's wrap it up.
I guess you are probably wondering how many legs we are going to give Foxfinder playing here at the Ambassadors Theatre.
Yes, we are going to give 2.
Just 2 legs for this piece.
It's sort of. I mean, I didn't want to claw my face off. I wasn't hoping that a fox found me to rip my throat out. But I wasn't a million miles away.
No, I think
I
ultimately...
could feel myself going at times, but I think what they did, what some of the actors did with the material they were given is admirable.
Yeah.
You know, it's an easy job when you've got a great script. It's a bloody hard slog when you don't. So, props to you.
But that's just what we thought.
Yeah, what do you think? Maybe you came and see it and had a revelation.
If you did, let us know.
I've got to say, audience reaction bit muted.
At the end,
Did you
we
notice?
weren't quite sure if it was the end.
Didn't know whether to clap or not.
It was obvious it had wrapped
I
up.
felt a little bit awkward actually. I was sort of like, no one's clapping.
And
well.
that's kind of the feel of the piece. It's just a bit.
What, is it over yet?
Yeah, so, but like I say, that's just what we thought. If you had a different experience, let us know. Leave your comment below. What did we miss? Or do you agree?
Maybe you do. We're the Breaker Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon. Bye!